When I was working on this giant T-Rex for my Super Mario 64 mod, I've noticed a significant issue with walls that make big actors too junky to work properly around walls. This isn't the first time I fixed an issue with the walls, and I'd like to detail the 5 bugs I fixed regarding the wall collision. In 1996, Nintendo has a not used mathematically sound function for this game, which resulted in a lot of janky things happening around collision. Speedrunners and tool-assisted speedruns have been using these for years to great effect. Let me explain how I fixed all of this and sped up the game's code in the process. Corners work a bit odd in Super Mario 64. This happens because the walls are ordered, and when staging multiple walls, only the highest order wall will work correctly. In this example here, the wall on the left is later in memory than the wall on the right. That means in a corner like this, Mario will only be able to interact with one of those 2 walls. This applies to wall kicks as well and can end up killing you, because it will sometimes be impossible to wall kick for no visual reason. The solution to this is to process interaction with the wall that has happened at the sharpest angle rather than the one that is simply latest in memory. With this quick and easy fix, now you can wall kick and push from any angle you want. Mario's physics are executed in quarter steps of a frame. That means in one frame, Mario moves 4 times. The first move in a situation like this would look like this. The second would look like this, both uneventful. In the third frame right now, you can see that Mario's wall hitbox that I've marked with the cylinder here intersects with the wall. The game recognizes this, moves Mario back to his previous position right in front of the wall, kinda like this, and ends the movement there. Mario stops moving. However, this starts going wrong at big speeds. Imagine this situation. Mario moves 1 quarter step, 2 quarter steps, 3 quarter steps, he does not touch the wall yet, and in the 4th, he's on the other side of the wall. Mario will not snap back to the wall and simply move through it. The fix I implemented for this is conceptually very simple, but mathematically a bit more complicated. Instead of having Mario move 4 times in a frame, I only move him once, like this. Now I cast the ray from his old position to his new position. Imagine like this. I check if Mario hits any walls by snapping him back to where the ray hit the wall. And now that Mario is here, we're applying his collision box and moving him back here. Clipping for walls seriously limit what we hackers can do with the Mario 64 engine, and it probably limited Nintendo as well. That's why Nintendo and most Mario 64 hackers stick to geometry with almost exclusively vertical walls. Fixing this bug opens up many new design possibilities. If you combine your knowledge about the quarter steps that I've explained before and the knowledge about the wall orders, you can notice one thing. What if, in the middle of a frame, Mario swapped which wall he's touching, from a lower ordered wall to a higher ordered wall? As you can see, it leads to a very weird wall kick. It looks very cool in speedruns and Kazes, and I am very sorry because the fixes to the other 2 bugs have unintentionally removed glitchy wall kicks. It's a very cool trick and it will be dearly missed, but on an upside, we no longer have the janky bugs, and I think that is worth it. The code is also quite a bit shorter and easier on the weak N64 CPU, which is also an upside. Walls only push you in the directions of the world axis, which means you won't actually be pushed perpendicular to the walls. Plus, walls push from the inside out, which lead to glitchy fences if you have geometry be too thin. This wall layout also allows you to walk in corners more than intended, which leads to these misalignments. To fix this issue, I've used Frame Perfection's wall patch, which changes the walls in a way that first of all it deletes the inside collision box, because we don't need this. You're never supposed to be inside the wall. Second, we round out the corners like this and push Mario away from the corner in this direction. Applying this mathematical fix makes the walls now rounded, they are normal aligned, and you cannot walk into fences anymore. Mario 64 has its collision separated into multiple grids, like this, with each cell holding some of the collision data. Doing this allowed them to only process a fraction of the triangles each frame. However, there was a bug in the way this was implemented. During their wall collision code, they ended up checking only one of these cells, which means that an object with a radius could potentially be in one cell but touch a wall in another cell. To accommodate for that, they added these red lines here that hold collisions in both neighboring cells. Of course, doing this causes collisions to be more expensive, and not just walls, also ceilings and floors. And an extra downside is that it only works as long as the collision radius of the thing is small enough to actually fit in here. You can see the stats being an issue if the hitbox is bigger than 50 coordinates even in the original game. Because when Mario swims, his wall hitbox is 110 coordinates and he can start vibrating like this. And of course, for big actors like my T-Rex here, it's entirely doomed and you can't make them work at all. I don't know if this is a limit that the Mario 64 devs realized and that's why there are no big boss fights in Mario 64, or if they just completely missed this fact. My fix to this is fairly simple. I just check more cells if I'm at the corner between them, and I remove the extra surfaces in each cell. This speeds up the processing, even if you check multiple cells, and it makes everything mathematically accurate. As a conclusion, math is now faster. The original game actually checked walls 10 times a frame, 2 of those checks being entirely useless. This game only checks walls once, and it ends up running Mario's total physics around 3 to 4 times faster. There's no more jank with the walls, and the physics now work consistently, without any odd extra rules the player needs to remember. I've actually spent the last 6 weeks of my life going through the entire Mario 64 source code, reading every single function and fixing all the jank and unoptimized stuff I've seen. By doing that, I actually made the whole processing around 4 to 5 times faster, and I've managed to double the frame rate in my ROM hack. The video you're seeing on screen right now is actually a video of my current ROM hack running on a real N64, and it runs this well. I want to make a video about that too, but I am very slow at video editing and not very good at it, which I apologize for, but I hope you guys can hold out until I finish the video. I would like to shout out all my Patreons for helping my channel. I wouldn't be able to do all these Mario 64 optimizations and to go as crazy into this mod as I could without them. Big shoutouts, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.